Welcome to this week's Archway Worship, and we are starting a new 2-week series on the theme of compassion. And we hope these acts of worship help to educate us, inspire us and encourage us to know what compassion is and how we can show compassion to one another and our wider world. Enjoy.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Act of Worship. We're going to start today by doing a Would You Rather. So as usual, you are going to need to chat about it with the person next to you, form tutors, pause it afterwards and give a little time for discussion. So the first Would You Rather is, would you rather eat a raw potato or a raw lemon? Would you either rather eat a raw potato or a raw lemon? Discuss. The second one is, would you rather be a detective or a pilot as your job? Discuss with the person next to you. Third one we have is, would you rather have no elbows or no knees? Think about what that would look like and how you'd go about navigating life with either no elbows or no knees. Discuss. And the last one is, would you rather be able to read people's emotions or read people's minds? What do you think? Discuss it with the person next to you. So our Act of Worship this week is on compassion. We're going to kick off our talk section by watching a quick video on what compassion is.
My friend told me he often went to the same little corner grocery store in his neighborhood. One day, he realized that though it was usually the same woman working there each time, he hardly ever noticed much about her. He felt shocked at himself and thought, for all I really pay attention to her, she might as well be a cash register with arms. So he went into the store, determined to actually pay full attention to her. The first thing he noticed was that she was singing along to something playing on the radio, and that she had a really beautiful voice. When he said that to her, she responded with a wide, radiant smile. As soon as he told me that story, I realized that I too often went into the same store and also had hardly noticed that woman, except for maybe a vague sense that perhaps she was a little grim. I made a plan. I'm going to go into the store, say to her, I heard you have a really beautiful voice, and watch her get really happy and give me a beautiful smile. But when I went into the store, actually paying full attention to her, the first thing I noticed was that she was already smiling broadly. Wait, what happened to a little bit grim? I realized again how much of a person we miss when we don't pay attention. People are people, not pieces of furniture. We each have a life, a story, changing moods, joys, sorrows. And if we pay attention to one another, we recognize that, and our lives are enriched by a continuing sense of discovery. That's the opening to true compassion. Sometimes we think of compassion as a gift, which we've either gotten or we haven't. If we haven't, we're out of luck. Or we think of compassion as some kind of emotional reaction that spontaneously erupts out of us. I think of compassion as a natural result that comes from actually paying attention. That means we can continue to cultivate it.
So I really enjoy that video. I love what the lady says at the end, that compassion comes from naturally paying attention. I think that all humanity, everyone in the world, for the most part, are good people. And naturally we have a lot of compassion in our hearts. But sometimes, we need things to move us to have compassion. And that comes from finding out about people's lives, how they're doing at the time and what's going on with them. We've probably all had maybe a moment maybe either with a friend or with a family member or somebody you know where maybe they're going through a tough time, and it moves us to have compassion. You start to feel bad for them, you start to want to help them or see how you can be helpful to them. And that's basically how I just think compassion works and what I think it is. I don't think people are necessarily more or less compassionate or people without compassion. I think sometimes we just miss what our friends, our families, those people around us, what they're going through. We maybe don't pay well enough attention. I also love this meaning of compassion because it is what Jesus did. He would go around meeting different people from all around the Middle East, and he would get to know them, get to know what was happening on in their life. And it says often throughout the Gospels in the Bible that he was moved to compassion and then he helps them. And so I want to leave you with this challenge. How can you pay better attention to your friends or your family and those around you, so we can be more compassionate, so we can be more helpful, so we can be better friends and better members of our community?
Dear Lord, thank you for the compassion that you showed us on the cross. Thank you that you loved us so much that you would die for us. And for us looking forward, I'm reminded of the verse in 1 Corinthians that says, if I have faith that can move mountains but do not have love, I am nothing. So Lord, in everything we do from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, may we be filled with compassion and your love as we move forward.